ImmunityBio is trading at $8.70. I mentioned in the last video that analyst price targets for this stock are at $11.80 with a high of $24, which we can see to the right of your screen right here. And much of this has to do with ImmunityBio's two recent Saudi approvals for the treatment Anktiva, which I mentioned in the last video. Saudi FDA grants accelerated approval to ImmunityBio's Anktiva for non-muscle invasive bladder cancer with carcinoma in situ, and Saudi FDA grants accelerated approval to ImmunityBio's Anktiva in combination with checkpoint inhibitors for metastatic non-small cell lung cancer. And so ImmunityBio have had their treatment Anktiva approved for bladder cancer and lung cancer too. And this now represents a huge market opportunity for ImmunityBio in the Middle East, starting with Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabia oncology drug market was valued at 1,231 million USD, so 1.2 billion in 2024, and is projected to grow to 1,759 million USD, so 1.7 billion by 2030. And for context, so that we can really understand the market opportunity for ImmunityBio in Saudi Arabia, Keytruda, one of the leading immunotherapies used to treat lung cancer and bladder cancer, already generates in the region of 220 million in Saudi Arabia alone. We can see here the Saudi Arabia Keytruda market is estimated at approximately 220 million USD based on a 5-year historical analysis. Keytruda is the world's best-selling cancer immunotherapy treatment with reported 2024 sales of 29.48 billion. It generated 31.7 billion in 2025 for Merck globally. And ImmunityBio's Anktiva is actually used in the same cancer settings, which just goes to illustrate the potential market opportunity for ImmunityBio. And the key thing to note about all of this is the latest moves that ImmunityBio have been making, the discussions they've been having with the Saudi FDA about new treatments. ImmunityBio's initiated discussion with Saudi FDA and UAE regulatory authorities to expand Anktiva indications beyond lung and bladder cancers. And so effectively, this is a discussion between the regulatory services in the Saudi Arabia and the UAE with ImmunityBio with view of expanding Anktiva to some of the other indications in their pipeline. And so the critical thing to note is that Anktiva, the treatment that ImmunityBio are developing and has been approved by the Saudi FDA, is not a single-use therapy. It actually has multi-applications across numerous different tumor types. Possible future areas could include colorectal and Lynch syndrome, which we can see in ImmunityBio's pipeline right here. In 2022, an estimated 1.9 million new cases of colorectal cancer and more than 900,000 deaths occurred worldwide, making it the second leading cause of cancer-related death according to the World Health Organization. Glioblastoma in ImmunityBio's pipeline right here remains the most aggressive and lethal brain tumor in adults and poses significant challenges to patient survival. The median survival remains dismal at 12 to 15 months, highlighting the urgent need for the development of new treatments. And ovarian cancer, which represents another significant unmet need in the market too. According to the latest 2022 global cancer burden data, ovarian cancer ranks 4th in female cancer mortality, with approximately 325,000 new cases diagnosed globally and about 235,000 deaths from ovarian cancer. And so if Anktiva is able to expand in even one of these indications, which has the potential opportunity to happen, it's just something that I'm exploring at the moment, bearing in mind these conversations that are taking place with the Saudi FDA at the moment. This would be transformational from a revenue perspective for the company and naturally for the stock price as well, significantly increasing ImmunityBio's commercial opportunities beyond just lung cancer and bladder cancer alone. And this is exactly how major immunotherapy drugs like Keytruda expanded over time. They started with specific approvals, as ImmunityBio are doing in Saudi Arabia at the moment with their bladder cancer and the lung cancer treatments right now, and gradually expanded into multi-cancer types, ultimately becoming multi-billion-dollar franchises. And so, like I said, this presents a huge market opportunity for ImmunityBio over the long term.